Hi everyone, I hope you are all very, very well. I thought I'd come on and show you if you are ordering tweezers, whether that is through the Lash Tribe shop or not. This applies to any kind of tweezers that you're getting. Sorry, I'm just adjusting my lights. I wanted to share with you today how you know that you have a good pair of tweezers versus a pair of tweezers that perhaps has not been hand tested and shipped out, or maybe your pressure is not correct and you may not be holding the tweezers correctly either. I wanted to show you how I test our tweezers. I have a box here. These are all untested tweezers. These are the new ones that we have currently. These are called our skinny boot tweezers because they have, you know, like a fat boot, but it's more skinny than usual. And I know my fingernails are atrocious. I started taking it off yesterday. I have a nail appointment later on today. So please do not comment on my atrocious nails. I know they are bad. So I want to share with you testing. These are 0.07s on here. I also have some 0.05s in double D. And then I also test with 0.03 because all of them pick up a little bit differently, and these are like the thinnest lashes that you can get, so they tend to not pick up exactly the same. So I'm just going to take out some 0.03s, and I want to share with you how you actually hold the hand and also your finger positioning, especially when you are testing, because sometimes that differs from person to person. I'm going to take some 0.05 and I put it at the top. See, when I test or start lashing, I always take the very first few lashes off because otherwise I can't fan out. I always use a fanning method that literally fans everything to the side. I call it my Lash Tribe method. There's many different names for this, obviously. I hold it like this so you can see. My finger pressure, also very, very important. So when you're testing, obviously with volume, you need to hold it with more than 2 fingers. This is what you do when you're doing classic lashes. With volume, you need to use 3 or more fingers, and especially have the lower base covered, right? You don't want to have your tweezers all the way up here because that won't give you any control over your blade or over your tip. You kind of want to have your bottom finger as close as you possibly can to the base of the tweezers, because that gives us a stability. I don't even know which finger to point with because they're all yucky here. This will give you a really good stability in this area. The first thing when you're getting a new pair of tweezers is to look at it. Look at it in the hole and see if everything is nice. I mean, a scratch here and there doesn't matter. However, if you're paying a lot of money for tweezers, you don't really want to have any scratches, right? But that doesn't mean and doesn't prevent the tweezer from working, right? So next thing I do is I hold the tweezers like this and I have a really close look at the blades. Not all volume tweezers have to shut all the way. I just wanted to say that. We get emails all the time saying, my tweezers, they don't shut all the way. Specifically Julia's favorite volume tweezer, or which else, Z tweezer, they're not meant to shut all the way. They're meant to be a little bit bouncy, and they're shutting only about 1/3 in, and then the rest will be open, yeah? With this skinny boot, if you're closing it very, very lightly, oops, very, very lightly, you can see that there is a tiny, tiny gap with these ones. Also very important to note is that not all tweezers are the same. These are all handmade. It's not like a machine-made tweezer. These are all handmade and hand carved and hand poured into the form. Yes, they have a form, but then at the end of the day, they're making these all custom to whatever I want them to be. So they shape them and file them down and hammer onto them and make them beautiful and rounded in this instance, yeah? And not every single tweezer will be the same, and it is the same with every company. I don't think any company will have exact same tweezers, not even Dumont's, yeah? Even though Dumont's are mass-produced with their own little forms, they are still not always the same. And not every tweezer will pick up 20D, for example. When you're doing classic lashes, very important that you test your tweezers for classics, yeah? Just make sure they pick up right at the very tips and also about 1/3 in. It's very, very simple. For volume though, you do want to make sure that you have at least the first third close. With classics, if they only pick up at the tips, sometimes that's enough. And again, I apologize about my nails. I have a nail appointment later on today. But I have time now, so I wanted to come on and show this to you right now. So again, back to them not closing properly. Some of them are designed to close all the way. That doesn't mean that they work better, because no one ever picks up their volume fan at the back of the tweezers, right? Everyone picks up their fans more so towards the front and the first third. So it doesn't really matter if they're closing all the way at the back or not, yeah? So once you have done that, you just check them and turn them around and see that everything aligns nicely and the tips are meeting up evenly. The next thing you do is you test them. So I like to test my volume with 0.07s, 0.05s, and 0.03s. And I start with something simple like a 3D. This is a 4D. So you can see that these ones are picking up 4D really nicely. Then I go in and pick up a few more. I'm not looking into creating super even fans right now. I'm just trying to pick up as many lashes as I can, okay? And you can see here, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So this works really, really well, this tweezer. So this is now considered a hand-tested tweezer. But for me, what we do, and what I always like to do, is to test with different diameters. Even though it picked up the 0.05s beautifully, doesn't mean it picks up 0.07s, because they are a little bit harder to pick up with lots of them. Yeah, this one is still working okay. Then we're going to go into the 0.03s. I'll try and bring it a bit closer. Let me just grab these out of the way. 0.03s I love for mega volume, but I even now use these for volume because they're just so nice and black, and they're really lovely and fluffy, and they create this really great depth when you use 10 or more, which I usually do for mega volumes like this, for example. Can you see? Trying to find the right angle here. There we go. And once you dip that, that is a beautiful mega volume fan, and the rest will kind of fan out. Okay, there's like about 20 lashes in this one, and it only has the base of a 0.18. So this is how I test. Now, very, very important when you're testing is that you have very even thumb pressure. So imagine now your thumb will go slightly like this. Can you see that? You will lose that fan in a heartbeat. You can see that this happens. And this is when people say, my tweezers don't work. But it really is the person using the tweezers because of the thumb pressure. Sometimes we move the finger here, and sometimes we kind of move this bone or this tendon or whatever it's called all along. That then makes the thumb move. And again, if you're just joining now, I know my nails are atrocious. We're fixing them up today. So, is there any questions so far? I just wanted to make this quick video to show you how to probably test. Because a lot of people only test tweezers with 1 diameter. I test them with 3 because I find that they pick up a little bit differently. If the tweezers pick up 20D in 0.03 for mega volume really, really easily like that, that means they usually should be able to pick up 0.07s at least 6 to 8. Yeah, because they are a bit thicker. We don't really want to use anything past 60 in 0.07s anyway for a normal type of person's lashes, because they would be too heavy. Okay, I don't know what else I can say. Let me test another one and see. So this one is perfect. So this one is going into the Lash Tribe shop now. Just got to find its cap. I don't know where it went. I'll find it a bit later. Oh, here it is. Also, make sure that when your tweezers arrive, they come with a cap on, because sometimes they wriggle around when they're posted out, and they can definitely, you know, lose its shape if they go bang onto something. We sent all of our tweezers in either a pouch or a little box. Currently it's a pouch because we're out of stock of the box, because we had so many new people order these types of tweezers because they're really great new volume tweezer. Again, if you're interested, go to lashtribe.com.au/shop. These are the skinny boot tweezers. I personally love to use them right now. Let's test another one. I can also show you how you can find your sweet spot. I need to come a little bit closer. These ones already feel a little bit weird. Like when I look at them, I don't know whether you can see that on camera or not, but the tip is slightly like flat. On the one side, it looks a bit flatter than on the other. Like this one looks more pointy and this side looks a bit more flat, which is not ideal. So something like this, I would probably not ship out unless it works like marvelously. It's a shame it does work really, really well. It just picked up about 16D with ease, but sometimes I have these like as a second choice in the shop. Also, any of the tweezers that are not working for volume in particular, they will still go in the shop, and I don't think I have added these ones yet. We haven't got them in the shop yet, but they're going to be for pre-made fans because these are perfect to pick up pre-made fans with. Yeah, and they're going to be quite a bit cheaper than if they were good for volume. Even though they were already hand tested, they probably should be the same amount, but yeah, these ones pick up a lot of lashes within the fan with ease. Okay, so these ones are good as well. If you have any questions, let me know. I might take this camera off. Excuse me. Oh, clock. Hey, Simone. Hi, Tina. And I'll go a little bit more close up. Obviously, now I only have one hand. And again, excuse my nails. I cannot wait to get them done later on today. Okay, once again, now that we're nice and close, make sure this tweezer, if you turn it around, looks beautiful and even everywhere. Again, the back of it doesn't have to close all the way when you're just tapping, but the first third does. Then once you press down, you can see how that blade shuts all the way. That is exactly what we want. It is very different to use classic tweezers in comparison to volume tweezers, because volume tweezers, they don't have to shut all the way. Classic tweezers, they don't have to shut all the way at all. You literally just like grab a single lash and it's not even shut all the way. While in volume, you literally have to use that pressure to keep that fan intact. Yeah, you need to keep that fan intact. We're testing a few different methods now. These tweezers are not really designed to do speedy methods because they don't have a very skinny base, but you can see it still works pretty well to create mega volume fans with this one as well. So let's test one more and then I'm gonna go. It's not about the spacing right now, it's about how much it picks up and how well. Wow, this one is a really good one. I might keep this one for myself. One of them just turned around, can you see that? And that's because I let go of my thumb pressure. Now watch what happens if I let go of more pressure. It disintegrates completely. I think this is a really good way of seeing how much pressure you actually need. Another good way of seeing whether you are able to pick up this fan or not is by wriggling it a little bit back and forth before you pick it up. If the lashes are moving at the top, which you can see now, then you have not got enough pressure applied, or the tweezer might not be correctly aligned. And so if it goes like this, you can see nothing moves. So this is what you could pick up. Nothing. The ones I'm testing right now, 0.03s. A lot of people just use speedy method on 0.03. I actually still like to use my Lash Tribe method. Still picks up 20 plus lashes, or I would say 15 plus lashes with ease, yeah, in the volume fan, mega volume fan, sorry. So if there's no questions, I might leave you with this. So happy testing. Make sure no matter where you order that those tweezers are always hand tested, because people are not able, and like I'm not able to see if this tweezer will work or not by just looking at it. Yeah, you need to try it out, you need to hold it, You need to try different types of diameters to test the tweezers. If maybe 0.05 works well in 3D or 4D, that doesn't mean that it works for 8D. So try to do as many as you can, and then if you can't pick up at least 6, I don't consider them very good volume tweezers, okay? So make sure you practice that, and thank you for watching. If any other questions come up and you're watching this in replay, comment below with #replay and leave me a question. Also, don't forget to subscribe to my notifications so that if I go live again with another training, you can actually be notified that I'm live. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.